We deliver individual and small group instruction through a volunteer network to local immigrants who want to learn English in order to adapt to life in the United States.
Their mission, I think, really connects with me, and I've seen firsthand how there is an impact on someone's day-to-day life.
I have learned a lot about countries of the world where I've never been, customs that I have never known about, religious practices that are new to me. It's definitely a two-way street.
We are an all-volunteer organization, which means all of our English instruction is done by our volunteers. It's all of our volunteers who do the instruction, that face-to-face learner interaction day after day and week after week.
I love working with adults, and you meet so many different people, and each person has their own story, and it's really interesting and it's fun.
I initially wanted to be a one-to-one tutor because I was interested in working with people who spoke other languages, and I realized that that was really only the tip of the iceberg of what English at Large does.
First I thought, a 2-hour session is rather daunting. Me, a learner, 2 hours, and it is, it's a lot of time, but it's worked out well. Usually during the course of that 2 hours, we work on all 4 of the foreign language learning skills, so we do reading and speaking and writing and listening, plus a dose of culture.
Really happy to have Amanda. She's very helpful about what I need, what my goal is, and what she provides me with a lot of materials to study with and give me a lot of the information I need, and I'm really happy to have her as my tutor.
DOA is very active in terms of deciding what we're going to work on, and is very quick to bring in things that have come up, that she'd like to work on. And so the curriculum is really kind of based on what is she trying to accomplish.
I took one of my individual to the emergency room, and the doctor was talking about what his concern about it, and she needs to do an extra CAT scan and stuff like this. And he said colitis, and we just study these things like the body parts and the infections. And I was so happy about myself. So I came this next session and I told them, and oh my God, this is what happened. I'm so happy. And we just were glad. This is really benefit what I'm doing on my life and in my work.
Everyone who I work with speaks Spanish, which limits the practice I get, and I am a shy person, which makes it difficult for me to speak English with others. English at large has helped me to learn new words, and it is helping me to speak better English.
Have conversation groups that are for speakers, intermediate to advanced speakers who need to practice their speaking and listening skills and to build their confidence.
So when I'm doing this, I write down some shorthand for 3 things.
My name is Celso, I'm from Brazil. So a friend of mine told me about the group, and I signed up. And I'm loving because the teachers are great.
And I'm in English only because I would like to improve my English because I'm in doctor medicine. And then when I go to work in the hospital, I would like to speak well and give to them a great service. I heard about the internet. One day I say I need to improve my English, and I went to the internet and I found a place, English at Large, and I did my registration. And everything was so good. I loved it. It's an excellent place.
With the conversation groups, the people have an opportunity to feel comfortable in a group and speak in front of other people without it being intimidating. And classrooms can be intimidating. These are not classrooms.
I have a little experience with English when I came here even. It started with the conversation group. It helps me to be more confident of speaking because I was afraid to speak when I came.
I think one of the biggest impacts that we're able to have is building community, really helping to reduce some of the isolation that speakers of other languages might feel coming to a new place and not speaking the language.
So the CAL program is a newer program at English at Large. It's only in its 4th year. It started off as more of a conversation group, and then after like the 2nd year running, it kind of turned more into a class-based program.
This is just a help for people. Like these are sort of the rules of the game. This is how you structure a resume so that people can see your background, your education, your experience, and everything. And this is what to expect.
I think about 68% of our learners have professional degrees from other countries, but almost 40% of those learners are still looking for work. If we're able to offer them a program that can give them knowledge about what the U.S. workforce entails, and they can get a better job or they can make more money, then of course their whole personal life is going to benefit from that.
We offer the beginner classes to learners who are on our waiting list so that they can start with their English studies as soon as possible. The classes are 90 minutes each. So at the end of the 8 weeks, for example, the learners will get 16 hours of basic English instruction.
I think it's important to help immigrants begin to feel more comfortable in this country so that they can be part of the community.
I know how hard it is to actually learn a language, especially when you're nervous of making a mistake, when you're not sure if other people will understand you. I know, it's not an easy process, but once it has become part of you, it will open up like so many opportunities.
It's just so clear and simple. There's somebody that needs some help, and you're giving them help. And that's incredibly rewarding.
It's hard to learn a language as an adult, and English at Large makes it a little bit easier.